Today I'm going to share with you 2 money skills that you absolutely need to master to take control of your finances. Hey guys, and welcome back to Rich Money Tips, where we teach you how to save, earn and grow your money. Today I'm going to share with you 2 money skills that you need to master to take control of your finances. Now we're going to hit them one at a time. The first money skill is our spending, which is vital to becoming financially successful. Now we need to track where our finances are going. If we don't know where it's going after it comes in, then we can't control it. So the first tip is track our finances. You can simply do this on a piece of paper, a notepad, on a spreadsheet, and as it comes in, go back over the last few months. We can track what's coming in and then where is it going. This will help us figure out how to spend our money more wisely. Now once we know where it's going, we can better look for opportunities to figure out where we can better spend our money. Second tip for spending is future planning. So figuring out where we do spend our money going forwards, what are the long-term pros and cons of each purchase. A lot of the time, most of our purchases are impulse decisions, so they have a short-term benefit. Perhaps our money could be spent better on a more longer-term solution. Go through the spending, figure out what you don't actually need, and then we can plan how to move forwards with that. Now if you're struggling with a few things, you can think about the effect it has in the future for yourself, maybe how long it will last. Will the purchase, maybe for larger purchases, will it put you in unnecessary debt? And will the value be worth the cost long term? Tip number 3 is a bit of a weird one, but don't impress people. So don't buy things because you need to keep up with other people, what they have, also known as keeping up with the Joneses. Now you want to put yourself in better financial stead, so pick the things that is good for you, have a benefit for you and your family. You can cut all this money trying to maintain an image that is just purely to impress people. In the end, you and your family are your number one priority, and if it's putting you in debt, putting you in a bad financial position, you've got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Tip number 4 is credit cards. Now, credit cards aren't a bad thing if they're used correctly. Now, credit cards, you can have them, but only put money on the credit cards that you can actually pay off that month. So it's a convenient way on managing your spending. But as soon as you start spending more than you're earning, it's a spiral that is hard to get out of. Paying it off at the end of the month won't incur any interest charges. So you're sort of borrowing that money for that month, paying it off, and your debt settled. Tip number 5 for spending is working out your habits, where you spend your money. Now, as you've already done it from our earlier tip, you should be able to see where you're spending your money. Now we need to control those habits, figure out where it's been spent. I'm not saying to cut all habits, but if it's putting you in a difficult financial position or you want to better your financial position, ask yourself if you really need it right now. So these can be from hobbies you do, maybe you do more expensive hobbies. It can be eating out a lot. Do you eat out a lot in restaurants? Do you buy really expensive branded clothing? I'm not saying not to do that, but could you cut down slightly? It's these things that we need to look at, go through and figure out maybe where you can reduce or cut out this unnecessary spending. That concludes our spending skill. Okay, so just a quick recap for spending. Tip number 1 was to track our finances. Tip number 2 was future planning. Tip number 3 was don't impress people. Tip number 4 was credit cards. And tip number 5 is controlling our habits. Moving on to our second money skill that you need to master in order to become financially successful is saving. Now, some of you might not think saving is a skill, but it is, and it can put you in great financial stead for the future. So our first tip for saving is treating it like a bill. I want you to imagine one of your bills is to put towards your savings. Only do this if you have the money left over once you've got control of your spending. Allocate some money towards saving. We'll cover in a future lesson what to actually do with savings and what we can do to grow that money. But today is just all about our saving skill. So treat it like a bill. Set aside a proportion of money that comes in towards that. Now you may be asking, how much? How much can I save? And it's a difficult one. It depends on different financial circumstances. You would need to put enough aside so it doesn't negatively impact your life, your family, and that it's a little bit that grows over time. Second tip for saving is actually paying debt first. So you need to analyze, as we did in an earlier tip, where your spending is coming from. Once we've done that, more often than not, you're better off paying off any credit card debts, any debts that you may have. So the portion of money you set aside for saving, put towards that paying off that debt, eliminating that, which will then increase the amount of money you have towards your saving. Tip number 3 for saving is actually saving up enough that covers you for a little period of time, like a rainy day fund. So if something happens, it doesn't have to impact your spending. You can dip into this pot to pay off any unexpected bills or anything else you need to pay out for. We won't cover it in this video, but tip number 4 would be what to do with those savings, okay, how to maybe invest that. But that concludes our saving skill, okay. Just to recap in summary then, so for our saving, we need to treat saving like a bill. Tip number 2 was to pay down debt first. Now this is not like mortgage debt, this is high interest debt. Tip number 3 was saving for a small rainy day fund to allow for unexpected costs that would otherwise impede our spending. Tip number 4 is how to invest that. Now we'll cover that in a future video. Well done on getting this far. You have covered our 2 vital money skills, so spending and saving. Master these and you're well on your way to taking control of your finances, moving forwards and being successful. If you got value from this video or any of my other videos, please like the video, subscribe, make sure you don't miss out on any future videos, and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.